and welcome back to Tales of Symphonia. We were going to go to the Temple of Lightning, and then I think I remembered that there's some other stuff to do. So we're not going to the Temple of Lightning now. I can't remember what we were going to do, though. Can you remember what we were going to do? Because I was going to say Michael's with us again. He's actually still on summer break, so, you know.
Hey!
I was going to say, the other part is, we just got back from... We just started recording again after 2 weeks, because I've had a lot of problems these last 2 weeks. A tree fell on my house the first week. Then my hard drive failed the second week. Thankfully, all these were... Oh, here we go. By the way, you know how I was talking about those super, 1 in 1,000 enemies, by the way, earlier, John?
This is one of them?
Yeah, this is one of them.
Like, you said 1 in 1,000?
They're particularly rare. I think this was called Drake.
Yeah, it's a Drake.
Tales
No,
of
it's not.
So I was gonna say, they're fairly rare. Yeah, I was gonna say, looking for Drake. So, it's let me see. This is my last, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Basically, it's fairly rare. Mostly. Apparently you can also go through the arena, which I may or may not show off at this point. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm almost done recording it, and I'm not sure if I really want to show it off. And I'm not sure what we're doing back here. Oh wait, yes I am. We're gonna go give a little gnome some beer.
What do you get in return?
Basically... Hold on. Potion, but I mean it's technically wine. And he ate it. He ate the bottle.
It doesn't even taste like anything.
Basically we had to get him, and I think there's one more we have to get, and now I'm just waiting for that elevator because there's one other thing we forgot. There's two things we forgot, for unfortunately last time we were here. Remember how I was talking about those Devil's Arms side quests, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the first
Devil's
one.
Arm side quests?
Yeah, they're the strongest weapons in the game. They're called the Devil's Arms. Basically, obviously, they're evil, because, Devil's Arms.
Yeah.
But they're technically the strongest weapons in the game. Obviously, I am not going to use them, because I don't want to use anything called a Devil's Arm.
Well, and, in Skyrim, you essentially make pacts with demons to get better weapons.
I know.
That's why there's some mods that can have you do a good guy ending to it. So like Moloch Balls, where it kind of forces you to kill a good guy just because, well, what if I don't want your mace?
That I could, yeah, that I'm not, yeah, I even felt bad in Borderlands the other day. It's I was partially I was trying to avoid killing an enemy because he didn't attack me, but a quest said, kill him and get experience. It's but he didn't kill me, so I'm not going to. And then
I think it's playing off of it. I think it wants you to senselessly kill them.
Right, it's I don't want to do that. And then I did later, partially by mistake, partially because I really wanted the experience. The character I was playing has, her enemies respawned around that one enemy, so she has, her ability is auto-aim, so she'll just, auto-aim everything and it hit that enemy, so, And now we are finally getting to... I think we're starting to lose things to talk about with this game, unfortunately. Not because it's a bad game, but because it's the sheer length.
We need to start pulling a Shovel Knight. Just bring in topics to talk about that day, then.
I'd be fine with that. Also, this is where I wasn't using the proper FPS at the moment.
Uh-oh.
It should be fine. It only doesn't display some things correctly. And once it gets back to the main screen, I'll show what I'm talking about. The main thing that it doesn't display properly is lightning. Sometimes it'll show lightning properly, sometimes it won't. And if it gets back to that, I'll show. I was gonna say, I guess but yeah, basically there's 3 new enemies here. I guess we could talk about well, there's 2 things we could talk about. Pentecost Sunday obviously is today.
Yeah, it's the birthday of the church.
Yeah. See, lightning was proper there, but I can't really show it when it's working properly. But yeah, it's the birthday of the church. It's when the Holy Spirit fell down, or came upon us, correct?
Fell down. The Holy Spirit fell.
It fell down. Man, are you an angel? Yeah, exactly.
Yes, the Holy Spirit came upon, or came to rest upon,
There we go.
Yeah,
There we
that
go.
is a better way to put it. Yes,
In the form of tongues of fire.
it fell down.
Yeah,
And then they
God
all-
just
they
kinda
all
kicked-
got together
God
and
just kind of
started-
kicked it out. So
Yeah.
They all got together in a church and just spoke random gibberish and called it a denomination.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say, I actually do think that there is gift of tongues, but it's particularly rare, and I think it's a little bit different.
It's
now.
rare, and I think it would make sense, not just blah, 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 blah. Oh,
Right.
see, I just spoke something, but you can't understand it.
And that's kind of what's implied in the Bible as is. Basically, hey, we actually understood that. And everybody was asking, was that in your language? Was that in my language?
Yeah, that's the big thing was, wow, they're speaking multiple languages, not, wow, they're speaking something beyond my comprehension.
Exactly.
It was, wow, he's speaking Phrygian, but we're in Jerusalem, not Phrygia, or he's speaking Libyan, and we are obviously not in Libya, and no Libyans would be here.
Right. And here's one of the puzzles. This puzzle doesn't actually get used again, if I remember correctly. Like, it does to an extent, but I'll give a little bit of a spoiler. The Magician's Ring for this one makes it so you can shoot lightning, so it's not used to the same extent later on.
I found recently, but I went back to Skyrim to play Crusader / witch heretic hunting kind of character. Who's chaotic good, so he just wants to destroy everything evil without like a hint of anything. So he's a spell sword, but I noticed how just the destruction magic seems so boring because it's, I don't know, it's just, do you want to kill them with ice, fire, or lightning? And I'll basically do the same thing, only fire just adds a tiny bit more damage.
Right.
Ice just kind of slows them down, and lightning just drains their magic, but it just feels, I don't know, it's all the same. Like, so I end up just using fireballs, but like it's really boring to just throw a bunch of fireballs at a guy and then hit him with a sword. There's nothing extravagant about it, like, I don't know.
Oh, sorry, not to interrupt. By the way, that's what I mean. See how it's just white lines and there's no actual lightning at the moment?
You gotta wait till it's powered on.
No, that's what I mean about the FPS. How I didn't have it correct.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, the 4-job Fiesta starts in 2 weeks, so apparently I may have posted that video a little bit early. I don't think so. I posted it when it was pretty much 3 weeks out. I can never remember when the Fiesta is actually about to start because they only posted pre-registration. So we got that all set up though, so that's a good thing.
Oh, boy.
Which part? What?
The,
Not much of a spec.
oh, wait, earlier we said, you said you had two things you were going to talk about.
Oh! Yeah, I was gonna say, obviously the birthday of the church, and then, I hadn't heard about this until during church today, but, and I haven't looked up more from it since then. There was a terrorist attack in London?
Yeah,
yes, there was.
night.
I wasn't even aware of that, actually. How bad was it?
There was a bunch of stabbings, apparently. So
Yeah, someone, I think,
Stabbings and
drove a
shootings.
car or a truck through a crowd, and then there were stabbings. I think about 7 people, I think, were killed. I don't know if that's the last number that I've heard.
I'm hoping
And the
it's...
benefit concert for Manchester's tonight. Or it's going on right now.
So basically what they're saying is, oh, I hate this part of the game. Sorry, basically what we're saying is there might be, unfortunately, another terrorist attack right now.
Oh, no, there was. It was last
no,
night.
the benefit. No, this is the benefit con.
Right, that's what I meant. They're going to have a terrorist attack at the benefit now.
No, we're not saying that.
Hopefully it doesn't happen, obviously.
We're not. I mean, like by that logic, you know, any single time there's a baseball, football game, there could be a terrorist.
That's true.
There could be a terrorist attack.
That's true.
So,
By the
It
way,
can happen anywhere, basically.
I do want to point out, I really hate this puzzle because it's this dark on the TV too. Like, unless there's lightning, it's this dark on the TV.
Oh, why not cheat and just turn your brightness all the way up?
Because I am not clever.
You see, people do that in Battlefield 4. They have night operations
Uh-huh.
where an entire map is pitch black dark, like it would be at night. But people compensate for that by just turning their TV brightness all the way up. So while people are either stumbling in the dark or using like thermal scopes to try and find people, or throwing flares on
Just-
flashlights.
Not
Yeah.
much of a
It's
spectacle.
just turn the brightness up, and
I
it's a
mean-
standard match.
I
Only
can't.
these
Yeah, it's
people
what I
can't
did
see you as well.
Yeah, it's what I did in The Last of Us as well, just because there's some parts of that game which are so crushingly dark you have to.
Yeah.
Thing. So, you know.
There were some parts in Thief where Thief's supposed to be a really dark game, but there were times when I just
Oh,
I
man.
could not see. I needed
Speaking
to-
of games where you have to turn the brightness up, the original Deus Ex. Have you actually started playing that yet, John?
I should. I'm gonna be
Ugh.
going somewhere. I'll have my laptop with me. Well, actually, I'll have. I got some of these retro things I could put
I
on there,
know.
but I still have to try Deus Ex.
Yeah, you should, because it's like, just play to the first level, and you'll see what I mean by how dark it is. Because it's like, most of the game takes place at night, and it does not get. It's a great game, but boy oh boy is it hard to see unless you turn that brightness up.
I just can't wait for the voice acting though.
What a shame.
Oh, because it looks like it's.
Sticks and stones.
Exactly.
That's what I liked about Thief. It was a perfect mix of top-notch original voice acting and then good atmosphere and everything else. Where I guess Deus Ex would be good storytelling and atmosphere, but the
Awful.
voice acting is
should
like,
be
bad.
Should be fair for JC Denton.
It was good for the standards at its time.
That is true
Yeah, I
too.
suppose so.
That is true too. I was also going to say oh man, we can bring up that part too. I forgot that they'd actually revealed JC's name to actually be. Sorry, I'm still not exactly happy that they revealed that.
I know none of the plot from Deus Ex, so I would have no idea how it would fit.
It's actually quite interesting. It's quite deep, twisty, and interesting. The problem is that they have enough cheese in it to make it. The problem is they put enough cheese in it to make it work,
Yeah.
but sometimes it really does kind of grate on you. Sometimes, you know,
Yeah.
there's a lack of subtlety kind of a thing grates on you sometimes.
Yeah, like JC's name. Because I don't know if you know this yet, Michael. Do you actually know his official name now?
Jesus Christ Denton, yes.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like,
and then his brother is Paul.
Yeah.
So, and the prequels, the protagonist is Adam. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget that JC and Paul were technically made in tubes, so they didn't technically have a mom
yeah.
or a father.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, but it was supposed to be the researchers at the time had just started naming them after the apostles and the apostles and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that was just like a naming theme that they did for the cloning, from what I understand.
I
So,
suppose that makes sense.
I suppose there's a Peter out there. There's a Peter, Luke, and John, and whatever. They're supposed to.
Oh, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense then.
Yeah.
It's not because that makes a lot more sense. Because my original understanding of it was they just did it just because it sounded deep.
That is
Well,
part
I
of it
think
too.
I mean, that's part of it because we only find this information like in the prequel games, where they say, "Oh, why don't we name all of these test tube babies that name after the 12 disciples and later apostles and Jesus, kind of a thing,
Was
so
it Sorry, I was just asking. Was it in Mankind Divided? I haven't played that one yet. I was just curious.
No, it was in Human Revolution. It was in an email in Human Revolution. So
I may have missed that part.
So-
How far into Human Revolution was it? Because I got up to.
it was in the second. It was in the return to. It was in the second time you go back to Detroit.
So I should have seen it then.
It was in a
'cause
side quest.
I-
It was in a side quest.
That might be why I
So-
missed it then. Because I was gonna say
Yeah.
I need to play it again. I got up to the point of the Missing Link DLC, so I was really close to being done.
I mean, either that or alternately, it was at the place you go after the Mrs. Link DLC. That's another place that they can go because the second place you go is where they kind of actively discuss, this kind of thing because of the nature of the place where you go afterwards.
Right.
You know where you go afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, after Rifleman Bank Station, you know where you go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say we're gonna be doing that game next. Well, technically not next. James is going to be recording the fall for us, which have fun with that one.
Yeah. You got the short end.
Wait, is that the really, really, really bad one that they started on mobile first?
Yeah.
But see, the reason why he has to record it is I don't own it, so.
Should I get Mankind Divided?
Oh, you're doing it in chronological order?
Yeah, we're going to do it in chronological order.
Oh.
What were you saying, Michael? Sorry.
Should I go buy Mankind Divided then? So
if you want to record it, but I was gonna say then you'd have to get. Oh wait, you do have an Elgato.
no, I have a PS4 which I can record it 15 minutes at a time. I just have to keep exporting it, So
Yeah.
So.
Which that wouldn't be so bad. Yeah, I was gonna say it'll be a while. It'll be a while because we gotta get through Tales of Symphonia first, and then we gotta get through then we gotta get through the fall. Which, to be fair, the fall won't take long. I think the fall is 6 hours.
Yeah. It was ridiculously overpriced for what it was.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And then Human Revolution, I've looked that up. That's gonna be 70 or 80 Let's Plays.
Well, Human Revolution is designed to take about 30 to 40 hours.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I saw, because it's like, yeah. Which that's fine. Well,
I got through it in I got through it in about 35 hours.
I'd have to check. I have it on my Wii U. The main reason I haven't finished it at this point, because I actually did go back a couple months ago wanting to finish it, was apparently my Wii U hadn't saved, and I'd gotten like halfway through the Missing Link DLC. So you know that moment where it's like you've lost 2 to 3 hours of gameplay, and it's like, I really just don't want to play anymore at this point.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm thinking I'll just record it. That'll motivate me to record it to finish it in the first place anyways, so. Whereas Tales of Symphonia I have finished before, but I figured it would be good because of all the straw man and other stuff. And it's not a bad game, it's just its plot is... this plot.
I guess a lot of them just kind of use the church not to attack the church itself, but because their idea this must be if you're not, I guess, completely understanding of Christianity and entirely, I guess, as you would in a Western place, the first thought that comes to mind of power and theology. Yeah, I guess even if you're in the West, the first thought of theology and power together would be the church. There's not really any other. Yeah, there's no other. I don't think there's really
Western
any
equivalent.
other. Yeah,
Western equivalent.
and I don't know. Even in the East, I don't know if there's really any equivalent of something that is a big mix of power and theology together in one, which the church obviously fills. So if someone wants the villain to be an ultra-powerful organization, but they have theology as well, I think they'll use church symbology, not necessarily to say, oh, them,
right, which
Catholics.
I can agree with that. I guess I'm just getting tired of it. And we can kind of lead into that other thing we were going to talk about at this point now. Far Cry 5.
Yes.
Or the equivalent of... well, did you see that? It's my guess. I think it's a parody, but there was a petition up to have it canceled because they said they were done with... I don't know. Whatever. They used the same generic, I guess, phrasing that you would expect. Oh, we're tired of the whatever agenda from Ubisoft to demonize the whatever.
See,
whatever.
That's the main reason I don't want to play it, because it's like, if it wasn't Ubisoft, I would be willing to give it and I'm still going to give it a chance, honestly. Like, I know that I've said previously that it's like, I don't want to play it because of all this. It's just Ubisoft has such a bad name with that now. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth before I even play it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't harbor the same sort of animosity toward Ubisoft as I think some other people do.
Right. See, I actually really like Ubisoft. It's just the fact with how they've treated the Catholic Church.
I think, though, from what I'd read, I think it may have been TV Trips, where they've actually strayed away from that. Like, even in whichever one that took place during the French Revolution, I think you actually helped...
Unity.
Yeah, in Unity, you actually helped clergy, because, as we all know, the Catholic Church was not looked upon kindly by the French revolutionaries.
Right.
Oh, yeah, because they were educated.
Now, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, they were educated, and they held power over the lower class. And,
right.
Yeah.
And that's also partly why they were persecuted so heavily in the Soviet Union as well.
Now, I was
because they were looked at as robbers and.
Right. On another point, didn't Unity also happen to have was it a trans character?
I think it was BioWare that went with the trans characters. I think Ubisoft implied it. Ubisoft implied it, and I think in Syndicate, I think they implied it, but they didn't make it explicit.
I think you might be right.
So.
I think it's part ways. Honestly, that stuff doesn't offend me too much. I think it's dumb for people to get offended over it, but I think part of it is trying to be inclusive, but another part of it is kind of really throwing it at people to say, hey, look, it's sort of like those ads or those posters you'd see in school where it's got like the see the white kid, but then you have the Asian kid and the kid in the wheelchair and the black kid. It's, you see, we're diverse.
Yeah,
It's-
which that kind of...
It needs to flow naturally instead of, oh, by the way, I should definitely mention that I am a different nationality. It needs to flow into it, I guess, in a way, as opposed to just, we got our token minority down.
Right. And I guess that's kind of how it feels like with BioWare. To me, it doesn't really feel like they're doing it for... It just feels like EA tells them to, and they do it, I guess.
Well, I don't think it's EA that's telling them to, because, I think that's more of the internal culture of BioWare. They've been doing it for a very long... They've been always at the forefront of this kind of thing.
Did they have the one character in Dragon Age that was like... It was like a gay character, but he was always trying to come on you, and
Zevran. They made Zevran bisexual, I think, in that.
Was that...
But, like,
was
he
that
was
the newest
always...
one,
He was
or-
just really aggressive.
Yeah.
No, I think it was before Inquisition, I think.
Was it
Zevran was 2009 in Origins, and Dragon Age Origins. So
I'd have to see.
yeah.
I'd have to see how much of the development of Dragon Age Origins was under EA or wasn't under EA.
it was almost entirely by themselves, because
Okay,
Dragon Age
okay.
was as an IP was announced was started development in like 2005. I
Okay.
think, 2006.
I couldn't see.
So
I
this
couldn't.
was entirely them.
Right.
So-
I was gonna say. I just couldn't remember when EA took over, because you're kind of right. I think I remember for Baldur's Gate 2 that they did have a specifically labeled trans character. So I think I think you're kind of right there. Yeah. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 2. I'd have to double check that, but that's what I remember hearing.
Yeah, it's just if that comes up, I'm just gonna say, all right. Does it have an impact to the story? If
Right.
not, all right, then okay. It doesn't. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is terrible, or this
Right.
is.
I mean, I don't want it, but I'm not going to complain about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's real life, and I'm just saying, yeah, go ahead. It's like, I don't know.
I mean, I still don't want it, but at the same time, it's like it's already here.
It's not like you can
It's not
just
like
sign a change.org petition or file a lawsuit and get him to take it
I
down.
was gonna say, it's not like we could have a person in our game and then take them out. Ukulele, cough, cough.
Well, actually, the more I actually thought about
Depends
that
on how
more
important
recently.
it is. That's the thing.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
thought
very
more
important.
about it recently, and what
Did you?
came to my mind was if they didn't announce it, someone was eventually going to notice it, and then
Yeah.
instead of the story we have now, it's going to be, hey, they secretly removed him and they didn't
That
want to
is
talk about it,
true.
and then it would have spurred more controversy. So I think they had to come out and say it. But this was
Yeah,
I think it was a damned if they do, damned if they don't, because
I think
if
you're
they
right.
did, then they would have been seen as, oh, they were hiding it because they're
Right.
ashamed they got rid of him.
I think
but-
they should have just kept it in. It's not like he was a major character. It was just
My guess is it's sort of like how Disney cut ties with PewDiePie after he made all the death to all Jews joke, whatever.
Okay.
You don't want to risk being associated with that. And I think after JonTron said some pretty
Right.
shady stuff, like not even
What's
some of the stuff
yeah.
was potentially conservative, but some of it
Right.
was like
Speaking
Stormfront
of-
levels of stuff.
spoiler.
I mean, like,
alert,
part of the issue too is I think with I know people who are making out the Wall Street Journal to be like this whole SJW magazine now.
It's
because
pretty-
of the
it's
PewDiePie
pretty-
incident.
How is it? All they did is the problem is SJW is such a broad term nowadays.
Sorry, I was about to say I'm misthinking. I was gonna say Wall Street Journal is, but I was thinking crap. Is it Washington Post? I can't remember.
You mean Huffington Post?
Yeah,
Huffington
yeah.
Post is notoriously liberal.
Yeah.
So is Think
Huffington
Progress.
Post and
Yeah, but the thing is, the Wall Street
And
Journal,
BuzzFeed,
SJW, WSJ, SJW, it's in their name. They have to be that. You know? It's like, and I was just like, as like a reader of the Wall Street Journal for the last 10 years, like, you do realize which organization you're talking about right here.
That's
you
what I think
Yeah.
is so, I guess, indicative of
know, the one that for the
quote-unquote
last,
yeah.
Yeah, the one that has been for so long, the one that the paper, whose editorial page is like the last remaining like mainstream conservative news outlet out there, newspaper outlet out there. It's like the last one, and you're gonna call them SJW.
Yeah.
It's like who is
It's
who is
the
not?
absurdity of
Breitbart.
the quote-unquote anti-SJW
I was
movement.
gonna
It's
say
just
New York Times. I can see a bit. BuzzFeed, I can definitely see. And
BuzzFeed, no
Yeah,
one cares
but
about BuzzFeed.
I mean, like even amongst like the real ones, it's like
right.
I
I really wish nobody did care about BuzzFeed, but with how many clicks they get, somebody cares about BuzzFeed, and it's a shame.
I think it's just bored people or people that I don't know. I'm not calling them dumb, but just I don't think anyone goes to BuzzFeed to stimulate their brain.
Hopefully not, but
I think they go there to turn it off.
you might be right. I don't know.
I got about 5 brain cells to kill for the next 5 minutes.
Well, there's an easier way to do that. They could just get Rain to smack them in the head.
I gotta find out what kind of toaster I am according to my my channel preferences.
Oh my god. And
Turns
let's talk
out
about
I'm
one of the
actually a
stupid
black and
recipes.
white ash kettle. Who would have known?
To be fair, as I said, a much more effective way would just be to have the professor from this game just smack you in the head. Remember, we've established it's very well canon at this point. You lose 2 brain cells every time that happens.
Should put that on the wiki. Just until they take it down, put it on the wiki as the
You lose 2 IQ every time she smacks you, so by the end of the game, Genus is dumb as a brick.
But yeah, I don't know, the problem is everyone is an SGW nowadays. If they say anything remotely,
Yeah.
if you say something I don't like and it's misconstrued or construed as something that is potentially saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't say that, it's, whoa, you're one of the S-Jews, who's in league with, I don't know,
George
something.
Soros. Oh,
George
yeah,
Soros.
and
To be fair,
something.
To be fair, George Soros is a bad man.
something Zionist world government, George Soros, something Hillary conspiracy, blah
Alex
blah
Jones.
blah blah.
Wake up.
You know, Alex Jones, woke, stay woke. So
Something Power Rangers. Because apparently, the creator of Power Rangers has a connection with George Soros, by the way.
Well, have you ever seen-
obviously they must boycott it
I know.
and protest outside of movie theaters. Obviously.
To be fair, I actually didn't agree with Power Rangers because of that character anyways. Also, Power Rangers has been dumb for years. The American version. The Japanese version might be fine.
Oh yeah, I think it's different in Japan. In fact, they use all the same footage from Japan. The only footage they have is from them walking around the high school as Americans.
Right,
That's the only
exactly.
original footage they have.
Exactly. Meanwhile, we've gone through almost an entire temple at this point. Cat, what are you doing? But yeah, I was gonna say we're almost done with the Temple of Lightning, even with having acquired the extra stuff at the beginning. But then again, when we happen to speed it up ×4, that does help.
×4.
Yeah, like that footage from earlier. This part is not sped up, but like while we were going across the ocean, that was sped up. And now I have a cat in front of me. So yeah, I was gonna say, I guess the other thing I could talk about, since we don't have much time to bring up another big topic, is I have a second monitor now, so that's nice.
We didn't really talk about Far Cry that much, but
Oh yeah,
we
went
set
on.
the record
yeah.
straight.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Set the record straight. We all know what the bad guy is, right? We all know who the bad guy that they're pretending to be is, and how that
Soros.
it actually can be a good thing.
It's a Scientology cult, whatever thing that hides with conservative Christian undertones, but the problem is people are only attaching to the conservative Christian undertones and saying, "Oh, clearly."
I
it's
wouldn't say
against all
conservative
of it."
Christian undertones. I would say more along the lines of not conservative Christian undertones. I'd say more along the lines of like a doomsday prepper apocalypse, post-apocalypse.
I think because those things are mostly associated with heavily conservative Christians, and because they're heavily nationalistic and all that. It's essentially playing to all the, I guess, the liberal stereotypes of conservative Christians, and people are seeing that and getting really offended, which is ironic because the same people are the same people that say, "Get over, stop being offended, you special snowflake." But then are the first people to turn around and say, "This is clearly an attack on me."
I still really hate this part of the game. Sorry.
The way, it gets dark and everything.
I wonder if anybody got a seizure from it, because it was dark, then, flash of light, dark, flash of light.
I think most games, I think most games will say, if you're epileptic, then be careful
They will
playing
now,
this.
but you have to remember, Tales of Symphonia was, give me a second.
Yeah, it is kind of old, yeah.
So I was going to say, Tales of Symphonia was, it's 2003, so. I think that was right before they started doing that, because after Pokemon, people started getting really worried about that because, Electric Soldier Porygon. But we can talk about Electric Soldier Porygon next time. Until then, guys, we'll see you next time. Pax et bonum.